Before we start with today's video, you can help support this channel by sending me commissions at very low prices. If you're interested or have questions, you can DM me here on Twitter, or you can contact me on Discord. My Discord is Starzy at 7488. So if you're interested, be sure to contact me. The only payment method I accept is Cash App. But with that being said, let's get started with the video. Goki Genyo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here. So it's been 4 months since I've done part 1 of this review. If you saw my post back in April, I did say that I was going to catch up to the latest episode of One Piece. I guess I may have overestimated how long it would take for me to get there, because I'm already halfway there, and I just started in April. So hopefully I can get there before August rolls around. And secondly, I wanted to unwind, relax, and focus on other things on the channel, which you should check out by the way. My Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as well as episode 1 of the Dreamstar podcast, where we talk about random shiz. I can't always do pretty good content, so I hope you all understand about that. But we're back now, so let's continue on with part 2 of the Happiness Chart Pretty Good review. Episode 11 continues after episode 10, where Megumi, Hime, and Ribbon were shocked to hear that Yuko was Cure Honey. Hime asked Yuko questions about why she kept her identity a secret. However, when Yuko was about to answer, she slowly collapsed due to hunger. So they head back at Hime's place for pancakes. Hime tries to ask Yuko once again, but Yuko says only after they eat. Blue appears after his trip, and after being questioned about him knowing Yuko, he reveals that he made Yuko a cure, scattering love crystals around the world, and that those with a strong heart that obtains one will become a cure. Which is how Yuko became a cure before Megumi did. We're going Sailor Moon up in this bitch, huh? Hime once again asks Yuko why she kept it a secret, but she insists that her and Megumi should meet up with her at the Bagarigaoka station at 6 AM, where she'll tell them her secret.
では癒されないわ。私の傷ついた心はね。だいたい美味しいご飯が幸せ。バカバカしいわ。
Mirage will make a great music critique. Namakilda insists on taking the task of defeating Cure Honey. The two, along with Ribbon and Seiji, arrive at the station, and as they head over to where Yuko is, they were more curious on why she would hide her identity from them.
そんなことないよ。ニコニコ笑いながら心の中でクックックックックキュアハニーは私じゃ。
You do know that you have that kind of attitude sometimes, Hime. You do know that, right? They were suddenly stopped at a bunch of rice fields and would also see Yuko below. She explains that the rice fields belong to her grandparents, the same rice fields that they used for her family's restaurant. And before Hime would ask Yuko about her identity yet again, she gets roped into helping out with the rice fields. Looks like Luffy has found his kindred spirit. Hime falls over after being startled by a frog. Afterwards, she starts to feel uneasy about why Yuko kept her identity a secret. Namakilda appears and turns Yuko's grandparents into a Psyarch, spreading mold all over the rice field. Seeing this, Megumi and Hime transforms into Cure Lovely and Cure Princess. However, they will struggle to move around in the fields, giving the Psyarch and the Choarch the advantage. But Yuko appears in time, vowing that disrespecting food and hurting her friends is unforgivable. So she transforms into Cure Honey and begins to sing her rice song, purifying the Choarchs. But the Psyarch will interrupt and capture Cure Honey, and Namakilda vows that her song won't work on him or the Psyarch. However, Lovely and Princess manage to save Honey, with Princess considering her as her friend, and declaring that she'll have answers after the fight. And the rice fields work. Yuko uses the pre-cards to defeat the Choarchs with her popcorn cheer form, and Lovely uses her Lovely Punch and Punch, along with Princess using her Princess Ball on the Psyarch, giving Honey the chance to finish it off with a sparkling baton attack. Afterwards, Yuko finally tells him the reason behind hiding her identity as a pretty cure. She was determined to fight solo, but after finding out about Megami and Hime becoming pretty cure, she became very happy to the point where she wanted to tell them, but was too embarrassed to it at first.
それでは美味しいご飯のために次は隣町の田植えだよ。それは無理。冗談よ。もうキュアハートだよ。プリキュア10周年キュンキュンだね。これからもドキドキ全開だよ。
So everyone in class got their test rankings, and despite only being in school for a short time, Hime became the only one with a 100, with Seiji ranking number 2. However, Kenta would rank the second lowest, with Megami taking last place. Because of this, Izumi threatens to force the two to stay after school if they don't pass the makeup test. My guy, how do you not know how to study? Well, it really doesn't matter anyway, as Hime uses a precurse to become a teacher, so she can help Megami and Kenta study for the makeup test. Afterwards, Kenta headed out for practice with everyone else at Hime's house, and after finding out about Megami's bad grade, Blue threatens to take away her pedicure privileges if she doesn't pass the makeup test. We're going yes pedicure 5 up in here.
白雪先生、スパルタだからな。
なんか言った？
何も。
So the next day, they continue their studying. Hime then gives Megami a study book for her to remember the parts of the test, with Seiji giving Kenta the courage he needs, saying and showing that math can help him with baseball. And just when Kenta was heading home, he ran into a Namakilder. He turns Kenta into a Psyarch, and after seeing this, they transform into Lovely Princess and Honey, dealing with the Choarks. Namakilder declares that studying is pointless and tries to convince Lovely to join his side. However, Lovely vows that as long as everyone's helping her, studying can be fun. Afterwards, they decided to settle it with a game of baseball. Lovely would unfortunately be on the ropes, having 2 strikes and 15 consecutive fouls. Princess would call a timeout, with Seiji telling Lovely to remember the pattern of how the Psyarch throws the ball. And with Lovely finally hitting a home run, Namakilder accepts the L, allowing Lovely to finish off the MOTW, saving Kenta in the progress. The team was rewarded with more pre-cards, and the next day, Megami and Kenta finished their makeup test and were able to pass. Afterwards, Hime tells Megami that she needs to study more and not just focus on pedicure activities.
キュアミントです。プリキュア10周年ありがとうございます。これからもよろしくお願いしますね。
Phantom makes his appearance, capturing Kira now into a mirror. Queen Mirage had a dream of her and Blue in the past and vows to destroy every ounce of love. Phantom returns, reporting that he's completed his mission. He then asks who's the strongest pedicure of them all, that being the Happiness Charge team. However, the trio decides that Happiness Charge is their target, so Mirage gives them one more chance to take them out and for Phantom to continue taking out the rest. While that's going on, Hime uses the precars to dress up and get into character as they watch a romantic drama. Blue returns to his secret lair after what he remembered, reminiscing Queen Mirage while holding a box. Megami followed him here, and Blue explains that this place is full of mirrors that sends anyone to any place around the world. Megami asks Blue about the box he was holding. He explains that it's called Axia and it's the reason why the Phantom Empire was set free. Blue then offers to go through one of the mirrors to see where they will end up at. After going through one, they arrive at the Bakare's shrine. Megami wants to cheer Blue up, however, Phantom appears and is easily angered by the sight of Blue. So Megami jumps in and transforms into Kill Lovely to try and stop Phantom, but she was no match against him. Just when Phantom was about to trap Lovely into a mirror, Fortune arrives in time, and while Blue tries to free Lovely, Fortune takes on Phantom, but is also no match against him. Lovely was able to break free and save Fortune in time, so the two Cures formed a temporary team up and were able to hold their own against Phantom. Blue steps in to defend Lovely and Fortune, claiming that if he dies, Queen Mirage will be displeased, so Phantom decides to head off instead. And despite Fortune only considering helping her out as a one-time deal, Lovely still thanks her regardless. Blue then asks Fortune how she gained pretty cure powers, and Fortune reveals that she got them from her older sister, Cure Tender. Hearing this, Blue starts to blame himself for everything that has happened, including Cure Tender being sealed. Lovely attempts to assure that he can come to them for help at any time. Blue calls her by her real name and thanks her before hugging her, causing her to blush. Alright, now on to the 500th episode.
キュアフォーチュンです。プリキュア10周年ありがとう。今日はプリキュア放送500回記念だよ。すごーい、みんなのおかげだよ。皆さん、これからもプリキュアよろしくお願いします。プリキュアウィークリーの看板キャスターマスコミオです。続けて読めばマスコミオ。
Mio reports on the international cures being defeated and captured by Phantom. This caused Megami to feel uneasy about the situation. However, Blue tells them not to worry and stay positive. Seiji calls them and invites them to a clam digging festival. Everyone was getting all the children organized before the bus arrives.
颯のごとく駆けつけて颯のごとく貝を取る仮面たくま。
Bruh, if he wasn't a kid, I'd be roasting the hell out of him for wearing that Kamen Rider mask. And come on, Megami, don't encourage the kid even more. So they arrive at the beach with the trio in their changed clothes, ready to collect clams. Everyone gives it their all to collect a bunch, with Takuma having Megami and Yuko tag along to help. Mal calls him an idiot for acting the way he does, but Seiji believes he's a good kid, because he wants to do and will do whatever he can to help others. They've managed to collect a lot of clams, with Takuma being complimented, which inspires him to continue his hard work. Orsuke, Namakilder, and Hoshiwa were at the top of the lighthouse, with Orsuke getting ready to cause trouble. Seiji announces that the search will conclude in 10 minutes, with Takuma and Mao helping Eri collecting more clams.
嫌いとかなんだろう急に私変。
Soon Orsuke appears and Takuma tries to protect the girls, but the three are turned into a Psyarch. Seeing this, the trio transforms into Lovely Princess and Honey, taking care of the army of Choarchs before making quick work of the Psyarch, with Lovely using her Cherry Flamingo form on it, along with Honey finishing it off with her sparkling baton attack. The kids were saved with Eri and Mao acknowledging Takuma as a hero. Megami and company were once again rewarded with more pre-cards, with one of them being the Coconut Samba form, and now everyone started enjoying the clams they've collected.
キュアメロディーです。プリキュア10周年ありがとう。これからもまだまだ行くよ。
So Megami, Seiji, and Mao gave presents to their moms for Mother's Day. As for Hime, she's unable to do so due to her mom still imprisoned in a mirror in her kingdom. But Megami and Yuko suggest that Hime should give the cupcakes to her mom regardless, to which Hime would agree to. Ribbon would be against this since they've barely escaped alive, but Hime stands by her answer, with Blue allowing them to go. He then opens a gate to the Blue Sky Kingdom for them to travel through, and warns them not to get caught, since they can't use their full powers there. As they arrive there, they notice a field of people trapped in mirrors, vowing that the same thing won't happen to Pagaragalka. In order to keep from getting caught, they use the ninja precards to try and sneak their way through the guards. They manage to get closer to the castle, but they need to get through the plaza, so they use their ninja arts to hide in bushes, all sneaking their way through the Psyarch. Megami accidentally got out of her bush, but Yuko uses her ninja arts to hide everyone.
お腹鳴っちゃった。
Well, goddamn it, Yuko. So, after getting caught, they managed to escape and would use the roller skate precards to dash their way through the army of Choarchs. They were able to make it through the entrance to the castle, which is guarded by 2 Psyarchs. Hime was able to find a hidden passage to her mom's room, and they made their way into the room, where they would see Hime's parents trapped in mirrors. She gives her mom the cupcakes in time before getting caught once again, so the trio transforms into their cure forms and were able to escape. However, Hoshiwa runs into them. Princess tried to attack her, but forgot that she can't use her powers here. Namakilder and Orsuke would also appear, so the four decides to retreat, fighting their way through the Psyarchs. Honey would use her sparkling baton attack on the Psyarchs, but it wouldn't work on them, and they were also no match against the army of Choarchs, unfortunately. And even with the powers of the Lollipop Hip Hop, Popcorn Cheer, and Macadamia Hula, it was still ineffective towards the Choarchs, and now the trio are in a pinch. Luckily, Blue was able to create a gate back home, giving them a chance to escape, and they managed to do so in time. Reflecting on what happened today, they made a vow to get stronger and stronger so they can restore Hime's home.
キュアベリーよ。プリキュア10周年って完璧よね。これからもよろしく。プリキュアウィークリーの看板キャスターマスコミオです。 続けて読めばマスコミよ。
In another episode of Pretty Cure Weekly, Mio reports that Madrid's Pretty Cure was defeated by Phantom. She also announced that they'll be investigating the Happiness Charge team, which starts to worry Megami and company, even more so if their identities were revealed. They were approached by Mio, who already started her investigation, and her focus would eventually shift towards Megami and company. She later reveals that the Happiness Charge team are middle school students at their school, which made them even more worried, especially Megami, because Mio arrived at her house, suspecting that Megami hiding her secret as a Pretty Cure. Afterwards, Seiji tells Mio that she can interview Megami in her room. And this is where Megami turns the table with a counter interview. Ironic how Mio enjoys interviewing people, but doesn't like being interviewed herself. So because of this, she breaks down into tears. Afterwards, she tells Megami her story on why she wants to be a Pretty Cure. In the past, she was attacked by a Psyarch, but was saved by a cure that totally doesn't look familiar at all. Megami supports Mio's dream and insists on asking Blue to make her a Pretty Cure. And she also transforms into Cure Lovely in front of Mio. They took Mio to Hime's house, where she asked Blue if she can become a Pretty Cure. He accepts her request and recreates a love crystal, telling her to pour her true desires into the crystal. But unfortunately, it wouldn't work. Disappointed and saddened by this, Mio walks out and would end up giving up on her dream. And to make things worse, Namakilda appears and turns her into a Psyarch. The trio arrives at the scene and transforms into Pretty Cure. However, since Mio is a Pretty Cure reporter and knows all about the Happiness Charge team, this gave the Psyarch the advantage. That's when Honey explains that they should try something new against the Psyarch, so she transforms into Coconut Samba using the Maracas rhythm spark on the Psyarch, giving Lovely and Princess the chance to finish it off. However, Mio was still saddened by the fact that she wasn't able to transform into a Pretty Cure. But Mao and her friends told her that they enjoy her Pretty Cure Weekly and want her to continue doing it. This would make Mio happy again, and the trio finally got their new pre-cards. Mio continued with her Pretty Cure Weekly, and Blue figured out why her crystal didn't react, because she already has a role, giving everyone around the world hope.
キュアルージュです。プリキュア10周年ありがとう。これからもどうぞよろしくね。それ。
Hime starts to question why Megami and Yuko and Ribbon are wearing uniforms to cheer Seiji on at a karate competition, and she would suggest making a good luck lunch for him as well, to which they would agree with. They meet up with Seiji with Megami and Yuko telling him that Hime wants to make a special lunch for him. During the night, Iona joins Seiji for a sparring match. Hime was annoyed by how Seiji acted earlier, but Megami tells her that he didn't want to trouble them. Hime then questions why Seiji works hard at karate, but Megami says that she'll understand when she sees him in action. They start to have a hard time practicing to make the special lunch, and annoyed Hime decides to buy more eggs and other things, to the point where she snaps at Seiji about the whole thing. So Seiji insists on helping her after practice. Eventually, Hime asks him why he works hard at karate, to which he replies by saying that he wants to get stronger, with Megami being the main reason. Then one of the karate students was turned into a Psyarch. After noticing this, Hime transforms into Cure Princess, taking on the Psyarch, with Seiji backing her up and by fighting against the Choarchs. With the two backed against the corner, Lovely and Honey appears in time to help them. During the fight, Seiji elaborates on why Megami is the reason why he works hard at karate, because of how hard she works and how she always puts others before herself. Honey will also feel the same way, and Princess as well. Honey uses her powers to restore Princess and Seiji's strength, giving Princess the chance to help out Lovely, vowing that she'll also work hard. And so the two uses their duo attack to defeat the Psyarch once and for all. Hime finally gave Seiji his lunch before the competition. Once again, they were rewarded with more pre-cards, and Seiji ends up winning the competition, with Hime now understanding what it means to work hard.
キュアピーチだよ。プリキュア10周年すごいよね。みんなで幸せゲットだよ。
Megami and Hime were enjoying lunch at Yuko's family restaurant. Yuko announced that one of her customers is getting married and wants to hold the wedding ceremony here. A wedding ceremony at a restaurant. Cause that makes sense. So Yuko and her family along with Megami and Hime got to work on the preparations for the wedding, and also helping out all the rest of Megami's friends as well as Seiji. They decided on Hime to become the designer for the wedding, and she came up with a concept called Something 4, which consists of old, new, borrowed, and blue. So to make the preparations quicker, they split up the work, and during the prep work, Megami, Hime, and Yuko fantasizes about what wedding dress they would wear.
楽しそうだけど、分かっているね。
プリキュアは恋愛禁止です。
Blue, I'm pretty sure they know the rule. You didn't have to remind them, especially on a special day like this. And hold the fucking phone. They chose to have a tower of fried chicken over a wedding cake? What logical sense does that make? Still, it's their wedding, so I won't judge. So he may ask Sachio what she would like to borrow. She says she wants to borrow something from her friend Maria, who happens to be the older sister of Iona, who later runs into Megami, Hime, and Seiji. They ask her if they can borrow something from Maria, and Iona replies saying she'll think about it. Queen Mirage's generals were up to no good once again, plotting their next move. The next day, Megami and Hime got ready for the wedding, with everyone else making the final preparations for the wedding. They all gave Sachio her wedding gifts, from an old tiara to a new veil to a blue bouquet and Maria's handkerchief, despite Iona still being upset about what happened to her sister. The wedding ceremony commences, but Hoshiwa ends up crashing the wedding, turning the couple into a Psyarch. So everyone's evacuated, giving Megami, Hime, and Yuko the chance to transform into Pretty-Cure.
なんか増えたらケーキを独り占めできないわよって。そんなの分け合えばいいじゃない。みんなで一緒に食べた方が美味しいよ。ケーキはホールが1個なの。
I don't know which is funnier, the fried chicken tower or Hoshiwa and Lovely arguing over how to eat cake. Don't take that out of context, okay? It really doesn't matter much though, but yeah, they were able to trim their way to the Choarchs, but were struggling a bit against the Psyarch. Fortunately, Cure Fortune appears, and this will be the first time where the four fight together against the Psyarch. And after Princess's Hawaiian Aloha Oe attack, Honey finishes off the MOTW once again with a sparkling baton attack.
忘れないことね。守りたいものがあるなら絶対に負けたらいけないってことを。わかったわ。キュアプリンセス、あなたに期待はしてないわ。
Oh, we are getting closer to Fortune's hatred towards Princess, and once again, they were rewarded with pre-cards, with the wedding continuing afterwards. So here we are at episode 19, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does this episode celebrate the 2014 FIFA World Cup, but as well as having a real-life soccer player in the episode. Also, I'm going to combine both episodes 19 and 20 together, since episode 20 continues where episode 19 left off. So here are the two celebratory messages from Cure Ace and Cure Sunshine.
キュアエースですわ。プリキュア10周年、素晴らしいですわね。まだまだ全力でいきますわよ。バキュン。キュアサンシャインだよ。プリキュア10周年ありがとう。これからもよろしくね。
So with the album of pre-cards almost completely filled, they were excited to have their wishes granted soon. However, Ribbon says that the cards can only make one wish, so they had to think about what to wish for. After Fortune defeats the Psyarch, Glasan asks Fortune what she'll wish for, since the pre-card album is almost filled as well. Fortune wants to wish for more strength to defeat Phantom, but Glasan suggests that she should team up with Happiness Charge. However, Fortune refuses as she is still pissed at Hime. During nighttime, Blue and Ribbon suggest that Hime should tell Megami and Yuko the truth about Axia, but Hime refuses to, fearing that they might hate her for it. The next day, Seiji asks Megami to help, since they don't have enough players for the soccer team. She agrees to and brought Hime and Yuko along. They then meet Go Nakayama, a real-life famous soccer player and is the coach of the soccer team in this episode. Seiji explains that Gon's father runs a dango shop, and their opponent is the son of the owner of a manju shop. So this turned into a grudge match between the second generation. Ayana appears as the fourth and final sub for the soccer team, and so the match began with everyone giving it their all. Ayana was able to score the first point, however tension starts to rise between her and Hime, with them not on the same page. During the break, Gon calls for a dango break, but as he was getting the dango out of the back of his van, Orsky appears and turns him into a Psyarch. The trio transforms into the Pretty-Cure forms, but the Psyarch launches a powerful soccer ball at them, trapping them into a soccer net. Fortune was able to save them in time, with Lovely and Honey suggest that the four of them team up. Princess agrees to it, but Fortune refuses to. They all make quick work of the Choarks, with Lovely using her lollipop hip-hop form to take care of the remaining Choarks. Fortune then uses her Stardust shoot to finish off the Psyarch. Afterwards, she was rewarded with new pre-cards. In the end, they were able to win the soccer match and a bunch of Dango that Ayana shared with everyone. And while on their way home, Ayana catches up to them and realizes that teamwork can also make her and her teammates stronger. She then reveals to them that she's cured Fortune and asks Megami and Yuko to help team up with her, saying that their powers combined, they can defeat Phantom. However, Hime refuses to let that happen. Megami suggests that the four of them should work together once again, but Ayana refused to work with Hime, and this is where Ayana tells them the truth that Hime's been keeping secret. The one who opened Axia, letting the Phantom Empire free, was Hime herself, which explains how Mirage was able to conquer the Blue Sky Kingdom, as well as Ayana's sister Kid Tender getting captured by Phantom. Hime tries to explain to Megami and Yuko, but fearing what they might say, she runs off into tears. Yuko and Seiji ran after her, with Megami following them. Ayana stops her for a second, telling her to think about proposing a team. Megami caught up with them, but they weren't able to catch up with Hime. They continue to search, with Megami trying to call Hime, but with no answer. Ribbon regrets not telling Megami earlier and confirms that what Ayana said about Axia is true. Eventually, Yuko was able to find Hime using the pre-cards. Hime tries to run away once again, thinking that her friendship is over. However, Yuko stops her, saying that she's wrong, and brings up how she hid her identity as being Pure Honey, but their feelings about her didn't change after she told them, and she knows how Megami feels the same way. Ribbon tells Megami that Hime tries to take responsibility for what she did, and is also happy to hear that Megami isn't angry at her, with Megami vowing that no matter what happens between her and Hime, they'll always be friends forever. And as they continue to search, Ribbon senses two nearby Psyarchs, so Megami transforms into Kill Lovely and tries to take on the two Psyarchs. Now Makilda and Hoshiwa decides to work together against Lovely. With some encouragement from Yuko, Hime decides to go with her to the fight. Lovely was able to hold her own against the two Psyarchs, but as she was unable to block the next attack, Fortune manages to save her in time. Once again, the two of them decides to work together, with Glasan coming to Ribbon's rescue. Lovely and Fortune was able to purify the two Psyarchs with their combined finishers. Seeing the two work together made Hime felt discouraged. Fortune would once again suggest that they should team up, with Lovely agreeing to it, but only with Hime as well. They both gain brand new pre-cards, and Hime begins to panic in the background. Lovely spots her and Yuko approaching them to inform them of the good news, but Hime was worried, thinking that Lovely is going to disband the team to partner up with Fortune. So she runs away in tears again, and Phantom decides that his next target is now the Happiness Charge team. So far, my view of this season has rarely changed. Even after rewatching this season, I can still have a good time, and I think that if people would actually take the time to understand some of the good message this season puts out, their view of this season might change a little. I'm not trying to force it onto people, but I'm hoping that this review does justice. The way they introduced Yuko into the plot was well executed. Pure Honey may not be my favorite in this season, but her contribution to the team was well written into the story. For episode 12, I admire how determined Megami became when it came to studying. After all, it is the most important thing to do to pass a test or to just pass a grade. And good timing too, considering that this is the month where people graduate from certain schools. I'll never forget the day that I graduated from high school back in 2019. Out of all the subordinates of Queen Mirage, Phantom's the most badass one. Not only is he powerful, but he definitely earns the title of being the Pretty Cure Hunter. He's like the evil cop catching the good guys. I love the message episode 17 puts out, to work hard at what you're into. I also love how this episode gave Seiji more screen time. I really do enjoy that. And for episode 19, I love how Ayana is slowly developing before joining the team, as she's now understanding how important teamwork is, despite still having a vendetta against Hime. And since we're on that topic, I still stand by my point I made 5 months ago. Ayana's hatred towards Hime was still justified. She lost her older sister because of Hime's actions. Now things will get cleared up as we continue through this review, but like I said, Ayana's hatred is understandable. The art style has been improving throughout the season for the most part. I repeat, for the most part. Episode 20's art style and animation isn't terrible like episode 10's, but it isn't that good. Regardless, we're getting closer to finishing the first half of this season, and I really enjoyed my time with the first half. I'll try to get these parts out a bit quicker from now on. Just remember that these types of videos do take time, so yeah. stay tuned for part 3, as not only we finish the first half and head into the second half, but I'm going to be addressing the controversy towards the international cures, as well as calling out a certain someone on what they said about Blue. And I'm pretty sure you already know who I'm talking about. But until then, this is the Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a startastic day, everyone.
I knew I would fulfill my dream, yeah. They knew I started from the bottom, now I made it, yeah. The possibilities are endless, yeah, I say, yeah. I got the roots and I got everything I need, yeah. And now I'm chilling with a pretty gentle lady, yeah. She got a kind of gentle personality, yeah. She got them curvy hips and a booty for booty, yeah.